Okay, I'm gonna go on a hike, and the original plan is to hike together as a family. Oh, here. Oh, someone's pooping there. Okay, come out. All right, we're on the Mirrorless Falls Trail in Washington State. This is the first time we came here. How do you like the hike so far? All right, it's just me and my 60-year-old. We came as a family of 4, but the other 2 are having a conversation in the car. One of them is throwing a tantrum. Anyway, things happen like this when you travel with kids. You just have to be flexible and deal with it. And I am taking the video or vlog with the Osmo Pocket 3 we acquired a couple months ago, but didn't really have the chance to vlog that much. So hopefully today will be a good chance. And according to All Trails app, the total hike is around 1.5 miles, and it will probably take 50 minutes out and back. Should be pretty easy, but you know what? Traveling with kids, again, you just have to be flexible and open-minded. Anything could happen, but at least we had a pretty good day, and we'll see. First and foremost, let's talk about light. When you photograph in the forest, you're pretty much dealing with low light. Oh, especially on an overcast day like this, you don't have strong sunlight going through the layers of trees, and obviously you have lots of shade. All right, let me give you 2 different kind of scenarios, my scenarios. First, I'm looking up. You see, my face is very well lit, okay? And compared to my background, you are the center attention of your audience in this photo. People naturally were drawn to the brighter spots in the photo. If your subject is well lit or brighter than the background, that is a perfect scenario. Now, I'm gonna move my camera to a different angle. What do you see? My background is so much brighter than the subject, which is me. And what do you see? You see a dark face, right? This is a scenario you want to avoid, especially as a beginner, particularly if you don't know how to deal with post-processing, fixing the uneven light or contrasty light in a photo. And the third scenario, look at this. Me and my background are evenly lit. Neither me or my background is a lot brighter than the other. This is called even light, which is also perfect. You want to put your subject in a scenario number 1 and number 3. Number 1, again, let me emphasize, you want your subject to be a lot brighter than the background if you cannot avoid the contrasty light scenario. Number 3 scenario is probably the easiest, even light. You put your subject and the background in a similar light scenario. Even light is great. The number 2 scenario is something that you wanted to avoid. You have your subject a lot darker than the background. As a professional, you have to deal with all kinds of light scenarios. For example, wedding photographers, portrait photographers, they carry flash. So in that kind of scenario 2, when your subject is a lot darker than the background, you just use a flash to light up the subject's face to create a photo where your viewers or your audience can easily identify the brighter spot, which is the subject of your photo. Of course, as travelers, we don't have the luxury of carrying around excessive camera gear and accessories such as flash, reflectors, or light modifiers. We want to travel light, right? But our job is not easy. We are dealing with changing light conditions and unpredictable environments all the time. If you're new here and would like to learn my foolproof camera and non-camera related tips to take better travel pictures for your family and friends, check out my free video training. I'll leave you the link in the description box below. Wow. Seeing the waterfall. Oh, it's a lot bigger than I thought. Hey, you be careful, okay? Okay, nice waterfall. First, set the kids down, make sure he is safe, drinking water. See my tripod? All right, this is a mini tripod. I didn't want to bring the big tripod with me, but I want to photograph the waterfall, so let's see how we can do it. All right, it's right here. Number one, pick a good spot. I think this spot is pretty good. Of course, I wanted to do vertical, not horizontal. And to photograph waterfall, you just have to play around with shutter speed. Light is very good, even light. I changed the lens to 24. Well, this is my camera bag. I had only 2 lenses on this trip, and the other one is a 35, which I used to do some photos just now. You want to drink more? Yeah, all right. You focus on drinking, and mommy will take some pictures, okay? All right, then I used a tiny tripod today just to minimize my weight and gear. So you see at the front of my 24 lens, I had a filter, which I introduced in my past videos before. And the filter is a 1 to 5, Nisi 1 to 5 variable neutral density filter. You can use it to take videos as well as slow down for photography, such as a waterfall. This is the first time I'm using this little tripod to take landscape photos. My full frame camera and lens, I mean, they're not hugely heavy, but still they're quite big for a mini tripod. Let's see if it is stable. I ended up having to hold my camera because if I let go, it's actually gonna tilt over. So not the safest, but because my shutter speed is only gonna be 1/5 a second, not sure you can see it on the screen, it's not gonna be too bad. And it's almost like a combination of handheld and tripod. The tripod does help in terms of stabilizing the camera, but I just wanted to make sure that it's not gonna tilt over. And I put my hand there on the top, so the camera is not gonna shake. It's definitely more stable than just hand holding the camera. You see, taking landscape photos while watching a very active kid sometimes could be distracting, but yeah, as long as I am quick to set things up, it's doable. All right, I'm changing a slightly different location and trying this again. Again, you see my tripod is pretty steady on the ground. Of course, I can adjust the camera's position, make the composition perfect. Because I'm dealing with a kid and I'm also doing video at the same time, I just wanted to make it quick and easy. Okay, as a final try, I did adjust the camera and the tripod in the position I wanted. So this is gonna be my last try to take this photo, and it's exactly the composition I wanted, and I can avoid extra time to crop the image during post-processing. This is something I try to do. If I can get a photo right in the camera, I try to do that. You know, instead of relying on post-processing. Even I know that cropping an image in the post-processing is probably gonna just take a 1 second or 2. It's not a big deal, but still, my principle is try to get as much right as possible in the photo stage instead of post-processing stage, okay? And that will be much more efficient. enjoyable at the same time. Something else I wanted to point out, if you look at the ring of the filter, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the top. Can you see it? You can turn. The resulting effect is the camera's settings in terms of shutter speed. If I turn that variable filter into the strongest setting, now the shutter speed is 2.5 seconds instead of just 1/5 second, as I showed you before. And this will smooth out the water surface. Yeah, I can totally make a different setting and see if I wanted to just photograph with 0.5 seconds. I can do that as well by rotating the filter and make it less intense. Fortunately, there are not that many people here, so I can spend the time doing this. And typically in a crowded place, and there's no way I can do so many trials and errors and watch my kid doing crazy stuff at the same time. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap up and giving you a quick look at my landscape camera settings one more time. All right, a final look at the waterfall. I guess we stayed for a good 15 minutes or something. My husband and the other boy still haven't shown up, so I guess we just have to head back by ourselves. Okay, let's go. Hey, no more running. Wait for mommy. My boy is a pretty good hiker, so I'm not too worried about him getting fast or running around, or sometimes even getting too close to the edge. Of course, we need to be cautious as family, as parents, but we've been hiking since he was 1 year old, before he was 2. As parents, you know your family situation the best, and then you are obviously more familiar with your kids' capabilities. So be cautious, but take reasonable risks. The whole world is never going to be a safety cocoon throughout their life, right? And they have to learn how to deal with different kinds of scenarios. And as parents, we're also learning. So, hey, you're back. Thank you for waiting for me. Okay. Yeah, go slow. All right. Now, this is optional, obviously, but as a photographer who wanted to photograph something unique, I don't want to just always photograph at a vantage point that everybody else can get access to. So obviously the spot that I take the photos just now was a typical stop for regular tourists. And so we decided to come down and see if we can take a look or photograph the waterfall in a different angle. Yeah, you like it? Now we came to the lower part of the waterfall. It's not the most convenient way to come down, but we made it. And it's beautiful. Nobody's around. This is a nice spot. Look at the water, it's so clear. You want to wash your hand? Okay. Is it cold? Yeah. We're on our way back. And I had to run after my 6-year-old because He's such a good hiker. And he didn't like to wait. So, anyway, finally caught up. It was a nice experience. Okay, let's go. That goes to another benefit of traveling with kids. You do more exercise unexpectedly. It's almost like a HIIT exercise, right? You run fast and you stop, you run fast, you stop. Yeah, very good exercise. All right, I'm gonna call it for a day and we'll see how everything turns out when I go back home. And I'm very eager to see all the all the photos and videos taken from both my Osmo Pocket 3 as well as my Sony SM4. All right, can't wait to share with you. Look, isn't this beautiful?